I sent out 500 cold DMs on Instagram. 72 people responded, and here's the exact lessons that I learned. And of course, at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you just how many people bought the program that I'm selling. So stay tuned to the end of the video. We're going to get into the lessons that I learned, starting with lesson 1. Know your person. A lot of the people that either responded or ended up hopping onto the call, and I'll tell you that number in a little bit, were either financially unqualified, number 1, or number 2, I was just not energetically aligned with, and they maybe looked right, but post conversation it was very clear that we did not align on our values, or they did not want what I had to sell, aka I had to give them. And so I wasted a lot of time around having a relatively specific person, but if I just dialed in a few more details about that person, it would have been a lot easier. And that takes me to lesson, I'll call it 1.1, which is the rule of the 5 ones. And if you don't know it, I'll explain it very simply to you, because it is actually a very simple rule, which is know your person, the problem they have, the solution you're giving them, and parentheses, the result you're giving them, how you're going to give it to them, and the financial investment that you're giving it to them for. And so, the 6th part of that is stick with that for 1 year and do nothing else. And so for me, obviously applying the rule of the 5 ones made it very clear, and which actually takes me into like lesson 1.2 here, which is you got to know your offer. And because when you know your offer, you know who needs it the most, and you can go flip as well. They kind of work hand in hand with each other, which is know your offer and know your person. And both are equally, really, both are just as important. But when you know one, it will help the other kind of naturally, you'll naturally see who needs this offer or what your offer needs to be for this specific person. And so that leads me into lesson 2, which is come bearing gifts. Okay, so before I get into this, what you need to know and to have before you do this, relatively, at least some idea of, is what you're offering and, of course, who you're offering it to. And so when you have those two in that order, for this one at least, you can come bearing gifts, which is a Michael's way of saying bring value and give it to them immediately. So many people in the DMs, I've received so many DMs from coaches, from Instagram marketing agencies, SMMAs, from so many different people being like, hey bro, or hey Michael, I'd love to work with you, what do you think? And I'm like, first of all, I have no idea who you are. Remember, these people are cold. Second of all, frankly, why am I giving you my time if you're not giving me anything of value? And so reverse engineering that, for me reaching out to people, I was like, what would it take for someone to want to respond to this? And I put myself in their shoes. What would it take for me to respond to this? Oh, someone gives me a surprise that I find valuable, not someone asks me if they can essentially have my money. I don't know who you are. There's fucking millions of other people doing what you're doing. What makes you special and what makes you unique? And for me, it's energy. And so with energy, it's, are you trying to give me something? You're trying to take me something. If on our first interaction, you are trying to get something from me, I don't want to work with you. And so reverse engineering that for myself, on my first interaction, who do I want to be? Do I want to be someone who takes something or gives something? So come bearing gifts, which for me is, of course, we have a couple different lead magnets, and I call them like free gifts, free bonuses, free surprises, etc. But really, when you enter into someone's DMs and you say, for example, this is something I've said, hey, I'll take myself as an example because I don't want to put names here. Hey, Michael, I love your energy, and I see what you're doing with coaching, and I'd love to help you out. I'd love to give you a free manifestation call to help you and your coaching business grow. Oh, wow, someone wants to give me a free manifestation call to help me and my business grow? Rather than, hey, Michael, are you trying to get new clients? Want to hop on a call and I can show you how to get new clients? Like, one feels more giving, one feels more, I obviously know this is a sales call. I think I'm good. I'll just go look it up on the internet and kind of do it by myself. And so I really have seen that the best DMs I've sent out so far, and of course now I'm doing this with every DM, have been give value first, come bearing gifts, and also kind of a side note of that, which is take this for you if it resonates. For me, it's obviously true, which is why I'm saying it. I don't want to show up in someone's DMs without a purpose. And so saying, hey Michael, I love your energy. Like, what fucking purpose do I have for saying that? I don't want to just, you hear this all the time with cold DMing and even everything in sales, which is build rapport. That's great, but for what purpose? I don't want to just build rapport and waste their time and waste my own time and be like, hey Michael, I loved your energy. They heart it. Now what? Or, hey Michael, I loved your energy. How are you? It's like, well, I don't fucking know this person. Like, why would they want to respond to a how are you from a stranger? It doesn't make sense to me, and it never has. And for so long I struggled with that, thinking that was how I had to DM people. But the come bearing gifts mindset, of course, application has completely changed how cold DMing has gone for me. And so that's lesson 2. Let's get into lesson 3. Find the screamers. So this goes kind of back to lesson 1, which is know your person. It's just a little bit more specific. So what I see as a screamer is someone who is on whatever social media platform you're on. For me, I obviously currently use Instagram. So a screamer is someone who has commented either on my or someone else's call to action on an Instagram post or reel, and they are aka screaming for help. And so if you find your screamer, since I have found mine, I know on some level automatically, without having to do a single bit of research into their profile, that they are open on some level to help. And so I don't need to go thinking like, oh, what do I say to them? No, I'm going to, as I just said, come bearing gifts. Because if someone's screaming for help, at 80 to 90% of the time, I can guarantee you that they are open to the gifts that we have to bring them. And so finding the screamers versus like just looking up whoever my target audience is, whoever your target audience is. For me, of course, it's coaches, beginner coaches, beginner intermediate coaches. And it's obviously a little bit more specific. But anyways, just looking up like life coach and being like, oh, this person has 200 Instagram followers. They're probably a beginner coach. A, I don't know if that's true. B, I don't know if they're open and looking for help. And C, kind of along B, I don't know if they have another coach already. So I could be on 3 different accounts wasting both my time and their time, which is 6 different wasted times, versus just finding a screamer who is very clearly at least open to help on some level. And so I'll share that with you. And that kind of brings us into lesson 4, which is Instagram followers, or if you're on another platform, don't tell the full story, okay? So I'm so close to getting into it, and I'll tell you the number very soon, how many people enrolled into our program after 500 cold DMs. But more than half of those people that enrolled, so 66%, right? 66% of the people who enrolled into our offer after 500 cold DMs had more than 3,000 Instagram followers when our person is a beginner / intermediate coach. If you know anything about that, you know it's very uncommon for a beginner / intermediate coach to have more than maximum 1,500, 2,000 followers. It's very uncommon. And 66% of the coaches that we enrolled into our offer have more than 3,000 Instagram followers. And so I can remember a couple different examples of finding these particular people being like, oh, they don't, I remember this so clearly, thinking they don't need our offer. Like, look how many Instagram followers they have. That's just the surface level. I went on to their post. I saw that they were relatively, this isn't exactly accurate, but anywhere like 20 to 60 likes per post with thousands of Instagram followers and minimal comments. And so for me, that was a huge, not really red flag in the bad red flag way, but a red flag that Instagram followers don't mean everything. In fact, they pretty much mean jack shit. Instagram comments and interactions, engagements tell a much bigger story. And even that's not true because, like, I'll take myself for an example. Not the best Instagram engagement, but yet thriving business. So even then, not necessarily. So go with your gut. And my gut said, reach out to these people. My mind said, they don't need what you have to give. But that really showed me that Instagram followers don't mean, I believe they don't mean shit. And if you want to take it, they don't mean much, fine. But I have learned very quickly, that Instagram followers do not tell the whole story. And so I know it's on your mind. I know what you're thinking. Okay, Michael, A, how many people booked a call? And B, maybe you're not even thinking about A. You just want to know how many people enrolled in the program after 500 cold DMs. My friend, I'm here to tell you, after sending out 500 cold DMs to people on Instagram who have never fucking heard of me until I sent them a cold DM, which is kind of crazy once I said it out loud, because I went from like literally, and of course I know you can do this too, which is why I'm here telling it to you. You go from literally never having met to one of the beautiful souls we enrolled 3 days later enrolled into our program. 3 days. It would have been 2 if the call didn't get pushed back to the next day. 3 days. I mean, maybe not. But anyways, how many people enrolled from stranger to now business soulmate? The answer is after 500 cold DMs, 72 people responded, which is, I think, about like a 14% response rate, which is very good. Of those 72 people who responded, 6 of them booked a call, which is about, I think, like maybe a 9%, 8% book call rate. Out of those 6 people that booked a call, 3 people enrolled into our offer. So 3 out of 500 is about like 3/4, maybe a little bit less of a percent. So about 1 out of every 168 people I have reached out to has ended up enrolling on and into our program. So that is the first stats of the first 500. I'm gonna update this and probably send out about 2,000, 3,000 now, having learned these lessons, and see what happens. And my friend, out of the 500 cold DMs, 3 people have booked 6 people booked a call with me. 3 of those people who booked a call ended up enrolling into program. And that is the end of the video. I will say I very much enjoyed making this video because I struggled with cold DMing for fucking years. And I genuinely feel like there's no video like this on the internet that actually gets into what exactly you need to do without being surface level advice. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and comment. I love seeing your interactions. It genuinely warms my heart and tingles my soul. And then the last thing I'll leave you with is, if you want a free coaching business audit, you can, I think it's in the description. Yes, it is. If you want a free coaching business audit, you can click the link to book a call with me in the description. There's no risk. We're going to go over all the problems and all the solutions for your coaching business completely for free, because I absolutely love you and I want to help you, because I know what it feels like to be struggling on your own. So if you want that, if you like that, if you resonate with that, feel free to book a call with me in the description. It's completely free, no risk, and I look forward to seeing you, my friend. Have the most amazing day ever. I send you so much peace, love, and light. Peace.